So let me break down how to narrow down the right TV for you based on your budget and picture quality. Now, there are four main technologies currently in TVs, which is the LED, QLED, Mini-LED, and OLED. As we move from left to right, that is LED to OLED, the picture quality improves significantly. Now, LED TVs gives solid performance without premium price tag. On the other end, OLED and QLED TVs give the best picture quality, best color accuracy, blacks, and viewing angles. Between the two are the QLED, Mini-LED technologies. I will cover the most popular size today, which is the 55-inch TVs, and I have gone over 70 to 55-inch TVs to make your life easier by helping you to narrow down the list of TVs you should consider. Now, I have also separate videos for 33 inches TV and larger 65-inch plus TV, which I have linked somewhere here. Now, let me summarize before getting into all the details. Now, to get the best for your money, you need to buy what you need and not overpay for features that you will not use. So, let's try to understand that your room setup matters when you are shortlisting your TVs. So for brighter rooms, LED or QLED are better as they have better brightness. For darker rooms and mini LED and OLED TVs are better as they excel at contrast as well as deep blacks. For everyday shows, movies and sports, a TV with 60 Hz refresh rate is more than enough. Why? Even fast sports like football, F1 stream at 50 frames per second, which can be viewed very well in a TV with 60 Hz refresh rate. If you game with gaming consoles like PlayStations or Xbox or play games at 120 frames per second, a 120 Hz refresh rate would be ideal. Now, TV audios have gotten worse as screens have gotten thinner. It would be ideal to plan for a soundbar or home theater system rather than focusing on the audio quality of the TV speakers if audio quality is your top priority. Dolby Vision HDR10 Plus and 4K content are mainly available through higher subscription tiers of Netflix Premium or Hotstar's top plans. So, unless you are already paying for those or you plan to get the premium subscription, just getting a higher end TV will not deliver you the experience that you are expecting. 8K TVs are still not worth it in 2025. There is almost zero 8K content and the quality from 4K to 8K is noticeable mostly in larger screens, not in 55 inches, which we will cover today. Now, you can skip the details if you want and directly jump to the recommendations towards the end. I have put timestamps in the chapters. But like me, if you like details, let's compare the video performance, the audio performance, and convenience aspects of different TVs that I have compared. Starting with the video performance, you will see HDR10, HDR10 Plus, Dolby Vision IQ everywhere on TVs. HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision IQ are better than HDR10 as they use dynamic metadata to adjust the brightness and contrast scene by scene or frame by frame compared to the HDR10, which use static one size fits all metadata for entire content. But you may ask, why don't all TVs support Dolby Vision? That is because it has its own licensing fee. Even premium brands like Samsung, LG, Sony sometimes skip it to control costs and use HDR10 Plus. Having one of HDR10 Plus or Dolby Vision is good, but rather you may need premium streaming subscriptions to get access to these. Next are the refresh rates. When you are watching fast moving content, a higher refresh rate helps to display the content smoothly without motion blur. Let's try to understand what is commonly streamed at. Now, for cricket, which streams at 50 frames per second, movies, documentaries run at 24 frames per second. For a cinematic feed, and Formula One and other action sports stream at 60 frames per second. All of these can be handled quite well by a TV with 60 frames refresh rate. Now, gaming with a dedicated gaming console requires a higher frame rate. So 120 Hz display become valuable for the gaming use case. Our goal when shortlisting a TV should be to get the TV's refresh rate to be as close as possible to the content frame rate. And this is why budget and mid-range models stick with 60 Hz, which is good enough for casual viewing, while premium models offer higher refresh rates, which can also be used for gaming. The next thing that determines video performance is MEMC, which is called the motion estimation and motion compensation. This reduces the strain on our eyes during action or fast moving scenes by creating additional frames between the original frames. Only the models that you see on the screen do support upscaling. Why this video is not very specific for gaming use, if you are a gamer, there are few key things you should be aware of when you are shortlisting a TV for gaming. You should consider a TV with 120 Hz refresh rate if you are playing games up to 120 frames per second. Now, typically available with PlayStation or Xbox. You should consider auto low latency mode or game modes to ensure responsive controls. Variable refresh rates should be considered to reduce screen tearing and stuttering. And the eARC HDMI 2.1 connectivity with a 4K 120 Hz or 144 Hz should be considered for gaming console. More often than not, budget models will lack ALLM or VRR support. I will recommend a few gaming TVs as well in the end of this video. Now, let's talk about audio performance. I have said it multiple times, as TVs have gotten slicker and thinner, the built-in audio quality has declined over time. So adding a sound bar or a home theater system will significantly improve our overall TV viewing experience. Now that said, if you want to start with built-in audio only, let's look at what you need to consider. First is the power output of wattage. This tells us how loud the TV is, not how good the audio quality is, which we will talk about next. Next, you have to consider the channels. Most TVs include two speakers, the left firing speaker and the right firing speaker. Some TVs include inbuilt subwoofers to enhance the bass experience, and a handful of TVs include up-firing speakers to create more dimensional sound. So, higher number of speakers, subwoofers, up-firing speakers is better if you are depending on TV for audio. The View TVs is the only one that includes the soundbar in the TV itself. Now, lastly, you have to consider the audio processing. Having a Dolby Atmos or DTS Visual X is the gold standard. This will help to decompress the audio into multiple channels that are there in the TV. So Dolby Atmos or Dolby Digital are next. Only the TVs that you see on the screen support either Dolby Atmos or DTS X. Now let's talk about how easy or difficult it is to navigate through the TV or the convenience aspect. The operating system. Now, the operating system can make or break the viewing experience. There are two main variants now, which is the proprietary operating system like the Samsung Tizen, LG WebOS, and Hisense Vida, which are optimized for speed and responsiveness. The trade-off of these is that some users find them less intuitive compared to the Google operating system, though usability has dramatically improved in the recent years. Previously, app coverage was better in the Google TV, but that also has improved significantly even on these proprietary operating systems. So, personally having used all of them over the years, I still find the Google TV experience the most intuitive to use. In addition to the operating system, having adequate RAM is a key for a smooth browsing experience over time. Toshiba, Lumio, TCL, and higher-end, versions of Hisense, Samsung, LG, and Sony have higher RAM, than most other TVs, which cap it at about 2 gigabytes. Every TV we have compared include the HDMI RE port for connecting audio equipment and gaming console, plus multiple HDMI and USB ports for additional devices. All of them are smart TVs. So dual band Wi-Fi connectivity is fairly standard, while AirPlay casting has been quite frustrating for many people in the past. On the screen, you can see TVs that do support AirPlay. Most TVs have warranty of 1 year, with TCL, Hisense, Lumio, Acer having a 2 year coverage. Some premium models of Samsung, Sony, LG have a 3 year coverage. After going through thousands of reviews of these TV brands, as expected, TCL, Samsung, LG, and Sony have the best product and service satisfaction ratings. And some established TV brands like Hisense, UV, Redmi, Haier, Toshiba, MI have decent satisfaction metrics. And satisfaction for new brands like Lumio, Acer, VW, Fosky, and so on is seen over time. TV is one appliance where it would make sense to take extended warranty, including the panel, when it is available by the brand. Since there are so many different technologies, from LED to QLED, so many budget and premium brands, I will share recommendation by price segment. In the 55-inch segment, under $300 segment, no premium brands are available yet in this price range. We move to the second segment. There are very few TVs under $383, and of those I recommend the TCL P7K 4K QLED TV. This has a good picture quality with Dolby Vision 60Hz native refresh rates, 120Hz game accelerator mode, HLG, HDR10 Plus, MEMC for smooth motion. It also uses the HDA panel for vibrant colors and wide viewing angles compared to the regular VA panels. It runs on Google operating system, two up-firing speakers at 10 watts each for decent audio. It has gaming features like auto low latency mode, VRR, and FreeSync Premium Pro. It's not only suitable for viewing experience, it's also suitable for gaming experience. As for the cons, as mentioned earlier, installation and service is average in some parts of the country. Second in my recommendation is Samsung U8000G 4K UHD TV. It has a decent picture quality, 4K X reality, 50Hz refresh rate, HDR10, motion accelerator, auto low latency mode, variable refresh rate, HGIG. On the audio quality, it has Dolby Digital Plus, 2.0 sound channel, 20-watt audio power, DTS digital surround. It uses Tizen Smart Operating System, 2 GB RAM, 16 GB memory storage, and a year warranty. Third in my recommendation is Hisense K3300 UWT. It has a 4K upscaling, MEMC, HDR, DLED dynamic backlighting control. On the audio quality, it has Dolby Digital, 20-watt audio power, DBS TV audio enhancer, and DTS digital surround for convenience, and it has 2 GB RAM, 4 GB memory storage, and 1 year warranty. Fourth in my recommendation is the Royal M9C QLED TV. It has Dolby Digital Plus, 60Hz native refresh rate, HDR10, HLG. On the audio quality side, it has DTS-X, 20 watts audio power, 2.0 sound channel, and for the convenience, it has 2 GB RAM, 4.4 GB memory storage. Lastly, in my recommendation is Xiaomi Pi55 UHD TV. It has a Dolby Vision, MEMC, 60Hz native refresh rate, HDR10 Plus. On the audio quality, it has Dolby Audio, 20 watts audio power, 2.0 sound channel, DTS HD, and for the convenience, it has 2 GB RAM, 16 GB memory storage. Under $549 segment, we start getting more QLED TVs in budget and mid-range brands. My first recommendation is the TCL P8K 2025 QLED TVs. This TV supports Dolby Vision, a 144 native refresh rate, and MEMC for a good video performance, 4K upscaling and HDR panel for wide viewing angles. For audio quality, it has 2.1 sound channel, two speakers at 10 watts each plus 15-watt audio power, and Dolby Atmos support for decent audio performance. DTS HD, HDMI, EAC, and AMD FreeSync. For convenience, it has AirPlay 2, Google operating system, 1.5 GB RAM and 8 GB memory storage, and a 1-year warranty. My second recommendation is the Motorola 2025 QLED TVs. This TV supports Dolby Vision, 60 Hz refresh rate, and MEMC for good video performance. For audio quality, it has 2.0 speaker channels, 48-watt audio power with two speakers, and Dolby Atmos support for decent audio performance. While for the convenience, it supports AirPlay, 2 GB RAM, 32 GB memory storage, and 1-year warranty. My third recommendation is the UV Vibe DV QLED TV. This TV supports Dolby Vision, 60 Hz native refresh rate, MEMC, 4K upscaling for good video performance. On the audio quality, it has an integrated 88-watt soundbar for excellent audio. So internal soundbar may not, be required in most cases. It also supports auto low latency mode, variable refresh rate, HDMI, EAC, and for convenience, it has AirPlay support, 2 GB RAM, 16 GB memory storage, and a 1-year warranty. Next, under 549 and above is the Hisense E7Q QLED TV. It supports Dolby Vision HDR10 plus, 60 Hz native refresh rate, MEMC, and 4K upscaling, which gives a rich visual experience. It has a 30-watt output from two speakers. This means 15 watts from each speakers. 2.0 sound channels with Dolby Atmos support for a decent audio quality. It uses Vida operating system, which is now better than before from a browsing experience point of view. The third thing to note here is the memory and storage are limited, lower than most TVs at 1.5 GB and 8 GB respectively. So we can expect some user experience lag over time. My last recommendation on this segment is Xiaomi Mix Pro Cinemagic QLED. This TV offers a wide color gamut and Dolby Vision support with AI upscaling, HDR10 plus, 120 Hz native refresh rate, MEMC for great picture quality and smoothness as well, a 34-watt audio power, 2.0 channel from two speakers with Dolby Atmos support for a decent audio quality, a 2 GB RAM, 32 GB memory storage, and runs on Google operating system for enhanced browsing experience. Since this is a new brand, service network still needs to be validated. Now, in the 643 range and segments, we will have the mini LED TVs and QLED TVs. My recommendation is the TCL C7K QD Mini LED TV. This TV has brilliant colors through QD Mini LED technology with 2048 local dimming zones. It has 2600 nits peak brightness, 144 native refresh rate, Dolby Vision IQ, AIPQ Pro processor, HDR10 Plus support, and Crystal Glow HVA panel, which provides a 5 times contrast enhancement, ultra low reflectivity, energy efficiency, and wide viewing angle. On the audio quality is perfect with Bang & Olufsen audio system. It has a Dolby Atmos support, also with a Game Master mode along with auto low latency mode, variable refresh rate, HDMI 2.1 EAC support. Is IMAX Enhanced satisfied? It's not just ideal for viewing experience but also ideal for gaming experience. It uses Google operating system, AirPlay, 3 GB RAM, 64 GB memory storage, and one of the best overall to minimize the interface lag over time. My next recommendation is the Hisense U7Q Mini-LED TV. This has a full array local dimming with 900 nits peak brightness. It also supports Dolby Vision HDR10 Plus MEMC, 4K upscaling, and a 144 Hz native refresh rate for great picture quality. It has a 40-watt speaker with subwoofer for decent bass in the audio. The Vida operating system supports major streaming apps, although not many people are huge fans of it. It is also a good gaming TV with multiple HDMI 2.1 port support. In the $789 range, we start getting mini LED TVs from mid-range brands and QLED TVs from premium brands. My first recommendation is a QD mini LED TV, which is the TCL C6K QD mini LED TV. This TV supports Dolby Vision IQ, a 93% wide color gamut, 144 Hz native refresh rate, MEMC for smooth motion, HDR10 Plus, AIPQ Pro processor. This chip has excellent intelligence, sensing capabilities and can make pixel level adjustment to the image quality, then providing a top-notch viewing experience. On the audio quality, it supports Dolby Atmos, DTS Visual X, 40-watt audio power, 2.1 sound channel for a decent audio output experience. A Game Master IMAX Enhanced certification, and Google TV experience for good browsing experience. It has an HVA panel, which is an improvement over the VA panel for better contrast and viewing angles. You should know that the average peak brightness is about 705 nits on filmmaker mode and 984 nits on standard mode compared to others. My second recommendation here is the Xiaomi Mix Pro Cinemagic QLED TV. This is a 2025 model 4K QD Mini LED TV with Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus, MEMC and Filmmaker mode for great visuals. Sound is average with 34-watt speaker with Dolby Audio and DTS-X. It has a patch wall for content personalization and supports Apple AirPlay for ease of casting. Warranty and service have mixed reviews as well. My third recommendation is the LG UA8200 LED TV. Like I mentioned earlier, many premium brands do not support Dolby Vision except at their higher price points. And that is the case with this one too. Although it only supports HDR10, HLG, its dynamic tone mapping helps it to achieve the visual quality as good as HDR10 Plus. With an Alpha 7 AI processor, upscaling is good too, even though it has a visual 9.12 sound. The audio output is ordinary and will require an external, soundbar. So it also includes auto low latency mode, VRR and HDMI EAC port, so it can be used for gaming, but only for gamers that operate at 60 frames per second or below. In the premium brands, my fourth recommendation is the Samsung Crystal 4K Vista Pro LED TV. Again, this is an LED TV compared to the QLED TVs from the mid-range brands that we already covered. While it does not support Dolby Vision, it does support HDR10 and 4K upscaling. So it's suitable for even lower resolution content. It does not support auto low latency mode, VRR, and also has a low refresh rate of 50 Hz. So it is not ideal for gaming, only for casual TV viewing. Now we come to the last segment, which is the premium TV segment above $1,500. Here we start seeing mini LEDs and OLEDs from premium brands in the 55-inch size. My first recommendation is the TCL QMH QD Mini LED TV. This TV supports Dolby Vision IQ, a 97% wild color gamut, 144 native refresh rates, motion rate of 480 Hz with MEMC frame insertion for smooth and clear motion, HDR10 Plus AIPQ Pro processor with deep learning AI, enhanced QLED up to LED 500 precise dimming zone, and high contrast HVA panel. On audio quality, it supports Dolby Atmos DTS Visual X, 40-watt audio power, 2.1 sound channel for a decent audio output experience. It has auto game mode, IMAX enhanced certification, and Google TV experience for good browsing experience and gaming experience. You should know that the average peak brightness is about 3,300 nits on filmmaker mode, and for extreme vivid standard mode is up to 5,000 nits brightness. My next recommendation is the LG 8AA QLED TV. This is the 2025 version of the much popular QLED 75 from 2024. It does not support Dolby Vision or HDR10 Plus like many premium TVs at this budget do, but with a quantum dot nano cell display, it supports a wild color gamut and bright visuals with dynamic tones mapping. It is able to achieve the visual quality as good or better as HDR10 Plus. With a 20-watt speaker, sound output is fairly average. So you would benefit from an external soundbar or a home theater system. It uses the WebOS operating system, which is much improved now and user friendly. So if you would use your TV in a brighter room, it's always better to go for LED or QLED TVs that I have recommended earlier. This TCL TV supports QD Mini LED, TCL Halo control system up to LD 3800 precise dimming, high HDR 5000 brightness, Face Glow WHVA panel, enhanced QLED, 4K Ultra HD resolution, 144 Hz native refresh rate, game acceleration of 288, TCL AIPQ Pro processor, motion weight of 180 with motion estimate and compensation frame insertion, filmmaker mode, HDR Ultra with Dolby Vision IQ, HDR10 Plus, HDR10 and HLG. Audio by Bang & Olufsen. IMAX enhanced certification, auto game mode, which is ALLM, FreeSync mode Pro. It also includes gaming features, so it can be used as a gaming TV as well. So since there are so many technologies, so many budgets and premium brands, the recommendation list turned out to be quite long. If you found this video useful, please share the video and subscribe to become part of our community that trust us with their decision making. Thank you for watching.